On today's episode of Watch Chair Go, well, you guys know where we left off yesterday. Here's the R8 engine coming together rather quickly, and today we go shopping. What is going on, guys? I'm Watch Chair Go, and today I'm here with Josh. And you guys in the comments, and Tavarish, he reached out this morning and was like, "You're not reusing that old pilot bearing, are you?" And I was like, "Yeah, man. Well, it's because it's smooth still. It's not bad. You can see it stops running immediately." But, you know, I took everyone's advice. The problem is the bearing was $62 from Audi. This little bitty bearing might be worth $5, $62 from Audi. So I'm gonna give you guys the pro tip right now. If you need to replace that bearing, don't go to Audi. It's an SKF Explorer. Both bearings, actually almost every bearing in the car is an SKF Explorer. 6002 2RS JEM. And the list is 34, and then I got it for wholesale. I think it was like 15. I don't have the receipt with me, but I mean, it made it like 15. And this is the rear carrier bearing for the intermediate shaft that runs through the engine. Another pro tip, I'm sure this is like 150 from Audi. It's an SKF Explorer. This is exactly the bearing that came out of the engine. 6007 right there, 2R SJEM. So I don't know what the front one is, the one where it actually hooks up to the drive shaft, because that one's perfect. So we didn't replace it, but the rear one and the pilot, we got new ones. And I bought some snap ring pliers because I saved so much money. I figured we should probably upgrade from my cheap ones. So let's open up that new pilot bearing, see what it feels like. Oh, that's way better, actually. The old one was good, but this one feels perfect. Let's get this thing installed. It should work much better than the old one. All right, so the pilot bearing install, you just kind of set it in there and wiggle until it goes in, and it's in. And then we'll put the snap ring in with the new pliers, because there's nothing like using new tools. And that wraps up the pilot. You like how much work that was?
Yeah. On every Chevy and Ford I've ever worked on, you gotta like get some type of a socket or a dowel or a punch and a hammer, and it's so you're terrified to ruin your new bearing.
Right.
That's funny.
Yeah, I have the exact socket that fits inside that because I was gonna tap in the other one and then it just fell in.
Yeah, German precision.
Yeah, it's definitely like machined to a perfect surface. Time to open these guys up. These are flippy boys, which are the best kind. So there's our replacement tips, which is nice. It comes with a ton, and set screws in there. And if we pull these out, thank you for that frustration-free packaging. You think I'm gonna break these tips?
You can give you a little Allen. Yeah, probably. You probably will break the little bronze one.
It needs to go to the steel one for sure.
I'll go to the hardened steel.
Cool. We already broke one of the tips off these cheap ones. These are reversing, which is nice, but not reversing like these. These have the switch. If these are on Amazon, I'll throw a link in the description. Time to test out the new tools. Here we go. Gotta flip them. There we go.
Well, that was easy.
Yeah, I know. It's so much easier than the other ones. Okay. It's cheating if you got the right tools. Boom. Installed. I don't think we're going to be able to do this as easy.
You didn't buy a tool for that?
I did not buy the giant, expensive bearing puller.
Not even a press?
Not even a press. Here's the bad bearing. I'm going to give it a big hit. That's trash. Very bad.
Very dry.
Yep. All right, so we don't have a bearing separator, so let's see if we can make this happen.
Muscle. Human strength.
Okay, I'll hold this. I can feel your hitting.
It moved.
Can you wiggle it? Oh, that's amazing.
Look at that.
All right, well, now we can clean that up. Boom. A little bit of brake clean and we're good to go. Hey man,
I can hear it.
That's good to go for some skateboards.
Yeah.
Probably a little less good to go at around 200 mile an hour. I was pretty upset about this Explorer bearing. They laser engraved the numbers into the edge. So as soon as it gets used, it's worthless. Yeah, so as soon as it went into the housing, it ruined it. All I could read was Explorer. And luckily that was enough for them to...
That's where the snap ring goes. So that's where all your rust and corrosion is going to be.
Yeah.
Huh.
You might be able to clean that off and see the laser engraving, but nah. What a terrible way to label a bearing. It should have been on the inner.
Yeah, I thought they always were.
Yeah, why wouldn't it be? Come on.
Not on both.
Yeah, or both. Yeah, what's it take to laser engrave both? Like 30 seconds? There it is. She is on.
She's popped all the way down.
Snap rings are back in. Those new pliers made it so much easier. Now it's time to do a little cleaning because the transmission looks hideous. As you can see, it is covered in oil and dirt, road grime from 50,000 miles of putting in work. And we got to clean a few other things here. We got to clean out the intake. Tavares said clean the intake. So I got some sprayable intake cleaner and we're going to fog all that in there, try to melt the carbon away. Should work just fine. And what else? We got more stuff to clean. We're going to grab everything we want to clean, head on over to Josh's. We're going to throw it all in his trailer and just get to cleaning. Spray it all down with some CRC brake clean and should make quick work of this, I hope. Lots of degreaser too. We got engine degreaser. We'll start with that, clean it off with brake clean and keep going. Then I don't know what we're gonna do because the AC compressor shipped out today, this morning. The flywheel bolts were ordered this morning because the manual said to replace those. They're probably torque to yield. There's 10 of those. If you guys are ever pricing this out for yourself, I just want you to know these bolts are $17 a piece times 10 for the flywheel bolts. Loctite on a bolt. Nothing special at all. You can get them for $10 at a couple other places online, but I got them for $13 and they'll be here in the morning. I guess that's a good middle ground. We need them fast. Obviously, our game plan was really to put the engine back in this weekend, and we could have, but we're just gonna get to cleaning and see where we end up and see if the engine gets back in this weekend. It's time to ride down the road with some Audi cars. Very carefully. Hope he doesn't try to drift this corner. You know what I forgot?
What?
Intake cleaner.
Getting some degreaser on the trans. Look at that. Dirt just falls off. Sweet.
A couple more minutes, we'll have that clean, ready to go back on the car. There is 0 carbon inside this intake. If we look down inside there, it's absolutely perfect. Well lubricated from all the oil getting sucked through the engine, but there's less than a 1/16 of an inch of carbon buildup on the bottom of those things. Nothing. But we're gonna go ahead and spray it out and should look new inside. Well, there it is, cleaned up.
Obviously we did absolutely nothing up here, and we really just kind of sprayed the far end down with some PEA.
Brake clean, dirty liquid came out. No carbon buildup or anything. Like, this is a new car, so we shouldn't see that much carbon buildup. All the real carbon issues are usually on the intake valves with these DI engines. Intake almost back together here. Throttle body's going on. We went ahead and used the throttle body cleaner on those as well. And the trans is looking pretty cool too. Much better. So I'm gonna dry that here in a second. We'll hit it with a hit of brake cleaner to make everything evaporate real quick, and that should be ready to go back on. This is a long process when Josh has the tool and I have my fingers. I'm just over here working away by hand. I chose the recliner this time instead of the lounge chair from the previous clip. Careful, careful. At least everything on that trailer looks new right now. That was a nice pop. Also, there's a whole episode coming where we put the engine back in this thing. It's much better now. So you'll see that soon. The much cleaner transmission is back on its home of foam blocks, and the oil sump for the turbos is hanging out there, all cleaned up. All this stuff, it's time to start throwing it back in the valley here. That's how we need to route that, under the fuel rail. So that's a good note for the other engine. We have to pull off this heat shield and the AC compressor drive shaft, and then we're gonna put this back in the box. So I think we're about there. Here is that front idler pulley bracket. It's doweled, which is kind of nice. So that should just drop right in. We'll get these 2 bolts started, and then I can put the pulley back on. It'll pretty much wrap up the front end. And I think it's the last thing we need off of that engine, other than that AC compressor drive shaft. Just for this idler pulley. Simple idler pulley, nothing critical. It takes 3 separate tools, 2 different Allen wrenches and a 10mm. So 10 there, Allen wrench, and then you can put the pulley on. It's got a bearing. So slide that on until it sits in there. Then it has like a centering bolt. Get that started. And then you can tighten that down. And then you can put the cap on. Typical of working on this engine, 3 different tools for something that could have been done with like all 10s probably. But she's good to go. All right, we got the drive shaft off for the air conditioner, the accessory belt pulley, the idler there, and there's just one shield left. I think we're gonna go ahead and put this back in the box. That is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. The R8 is still moving right along. Today was taking care of a lot of little stuff that needed done. So don't forget to head on over to shopwatchjrgo.com where you can get cool shirts like this. And please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and I will talk to you next time. Shout out to the Car Ninja again, of course, because I went over there, forgot the PDFs of all the manuals for the engine, and then went over there and emailed them to myself today. I'm glad he has all the service manuals. Okay, we are here at Audi Parts to pick up the flywheel bolts. Check it out. There's all 10 of them. What do I owe you?
$150.29.
It seems a little high for bolts.
Oh yeah, no doubt.